Should you be upgrading to the Shark FlexFusion if you already have the Shark FlexStyle? Let's find out today. We're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison. One side with the Shark FlexFusion and the other side with the Shark FlexStyle. Let's get right into it. I've had the Shark FlexStyle for a couple of years now, so I definitely have pretty much all the attachments you can think of. I even have the case. So my FlexStyle really does have everything you need to create a nice, beautiful, smooth blowout. So let's talk about pricing first. The Shark FlexStyle is $280. On the Shark website, you can build your own kit. So for $280, you can get up to 5 different attachments. So I won't be using more than 5 attachments today. I am just going to be using this round brush attachment right here. This is the oval one, the bigger one. You could also get the paddle brush attachment, which is not my favorite. And you can also get a smaller like round brush attachment, which is also not my favorite. I feel like this big one and this one, they're like almost the same, but with this one you're able to grab more hair anyways, so you might as well just use this one. The size of the bristles are the same. It's just that one is oval and the other one is round, but you don't really get much of a difference in my opinion. So I'm not going to be using that today. I will be using the nozzle attachments. You can get that if you want, if you end up getting the FlexStyle. And of course I'm going to be using the curling barrels. So those are really the only attachments that I use. So that's just 3 attachments. You can still get more if you want to. You can also get the diffuser attachment if you like to leave your hair natural like I do sometimes. You can get this flywheel attachment, which I don't use that much either. My favorite attachments for the FlexStyle are definitely this one, the oval one, the curling barrels, and the nozzle attachment. The technology on this is different. The bases are completely different. You cannot use the Shark FlexStyle attachments on the Shark FlexFusion. You cannot use these attachments on this new base. I know a lot of people were saying that they really wish that they could, but it's just not possible because this base is different and these attachments are made for this base. This is a wet to dry hair tool, but you can also use it on dry hair. The Shark FlexStyle is also a wet to dry hair tool. You can also use it on dry hair, but this one has integrated like this technology that makes the attachments kind of like turn into, with this one a straightener and then this one a heated round brush. So the technology behind this is a lot more different. As you can see, you get the wet to dry mode, you also get the dry mode, and this right here is about the same as the Shark FlexStyle, but the FlexStyle is more like a blow dryer. The Shark FlexFusion is kind of like a blow dryer, also a heated round brush, also a straightener. So you do get to do a lot more with the FlexFusion. My kit is the complete kit, I guess, because you do get all the attachments or most of them. So you do get this one right here, which is the round brush attachment. As you can see, this right here is what turns into kind of like that heated round brush. So that is why it's very important that you only use this setting on completely dry hair. So that's something that you have to be very careful with. This attachment is also very cool because it does dry your hair straight from wet hair. This is basically straightening your hair but only with air, and if you wanted to use this in the dry mode, it basically turns into a straightener. So it's pretty cool. And then of course you get the curling barrels, which are super nice. You get one for each side, and you also get the nozzle attachment, which I love to use. With both of these hair tools, you are able to turn this into a regular looking blow dryer. It does flip. That's one of my favorite features of these hair tools. It's so genius because that way you can use a nozzle attachment and it won't feel weird. And you can also use the curling barrel that way as well. I'm going to start with the Shark FlexStyle. I'm going to do this one section right here. I'm going to be using both of these hair tools in the highest heat setting and highest speed. I definitely have to say the bristles on the oval brush for the Shark FlexStyle are not my favorite. I really wish that they would just make at least the plastic ones a little tiny bit lower. But I like to use the nozzle attachment with a small round brush attachment just to really smooth out my roots with this hair tool. But I really do feel like if this had a nicer round brush attachment that had shorter bristles, I really could get smoother results with this hair tool. I'm just going to be blowing out my hair right now with the oval brush on the Shark FlexStyle side. I love that I was able to create a little curl with the oval brush, but now let's do the same on the Shark FlexFusion side. Make sure that when you use this on wet hair that you switch it to the wet mode, which is the first one up here. I mean, it has the little water drop right there, so you cannot miss it. It's right there on the top. Do not use this on wet hair if you're using it in the dry mode, because then you're basically using like very hot plates like a straightener literally on wet hair, and you don't want to do that. Do not not miss that. I don't want you guys to burn your hair. The bristles on the Shark FlexFusion definitely feel a lot better quality. They feel a little bit stronger. They look more durable. They feel a little bit harder than the Shark FlexStyle. I also wish that this hair tool had another attachment that had shorter bristles, kind of like the DYSON AIRWRAP round brush attachment. I really wish that Shark would come out with a round brush attachment like that I could use just to get a nice smooth blowout and get closer to my roots. These bristles still feel very long for me, but I am still able to get a pretty smooth blowout. And also this hair tool does have attachments that will help me get that smoother root result, so we are gonna do that next. But just as a blow dryer brush, this one is okay. It feels a little tiny bit more rough on the hair because of this part right here, which is basically the heated round brush. So using that little tiny bit right there on wet hair does feel just a little tiny bit more rough than the Shark FlexStyle on wet hair, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. I mean, I do have very thick curly hair, so if you do have more fine hair, you might not love this attachment on wet hair, but if you do want something a little bit more gentle, then definitely try using the other attachment, the straightener attachment on wet hair. You might prefer that if you have more fine hair, but for me, this is just fine, and it also gave me a pretty nice bouncy curl. I'm gonna do all my hair now. I'm just gonna blow it out, and then we'll be back and use some other attachments. Okay, so let's take these off. I actually felt like the Shark FlexFusion gets a little bit hotter than the FlexStyle, so that was very interesting to me. It also gave me a smoother blowout in my opinion, and I only used it in the wet to dry mode. I haven't even used it in the dry mode yet, so very excited to do that now. If you have been following me for a while, you know that this side almost always is a lot more smooth than this side whenever I blow it out, and this side of my hair is way curlier than this side. So yeah, it's a little bit challenging for me to get it this smooth with just a blowout, and I feel like it looks so much shinier than this side. Now I'm going to try to smooth down my roots. This side is starting to get a little bit frizzy. The Shark FlexStyle side is starting to get a little bit frizzy on the top. So right now I'm going to try to smooth down my roots. So the best way for me to smooth down my roots with the Shark FlexStyle is by using the nozzle attachment. So we're going to do that now. The nozzle attachment on the new Shark is a lot better than the old one in my opinion. As you can see, it's more wide and it's also more concentrated than the old one. So already I like the nozzle attachment of the new one more than the old one, but we're still gonna use it to smooth down my roots. Okay, so the roots definitely look a lot better after using the nozzle attachment on the Shark FlexStyle side. So I put this side up because I want to show you guys how I would smooth out this side a little bit more with the same attachment. I'm gonna put this in the dry mode, and I'm gonna try to smooth out my roots a little bit more on this side. So let's do that right now. As you can see, it's warming up for the dry mode. Here we have it. This mode, the dry mode, gets so hot. So really make sure that you only use this on completely dry hair. I think the main thing you have to do to get smooth results with this round brush attachment is really focus on getting this part of the brush down to your roots. This is where the heated plates are at. So this is what is going to get those roots nice and flat. So when you're using this on the dry mode setting, you want to make sure that you're angling this brush in a way that the plates on the heated round brush mode are straight to your roots. Try to really angle it that way so that your roots are getting smoothed down at the same time with the plates from the round brush attachment. But so far, this is what my hair is looking like after smoothing out my roots. Now I'm gonna use this attachment because I wanna show you guys that you can still get your roots even smoother with this flat iron attachment. So I'm gonna take this off and I'm going to attach this flat iron attachment. I'm gonna use it on the dry mode. So I just turned it on the dry mode. And unfortunately, that's not something that you can do with the Shark FlexStyle. So keep that in mind. You're able to basically use a flat iron on your hair. Immediately, my roots look a lot more straight. Like that was the final step that I kind of needed to do on my roots on this side, because sometimes it's just very hard to get those roots straight, and only a flat iron does that for me most of the time. This is an attachment that I'll probably just end up using more just to kind of touch up my roots like I did today, just because I'm a little bit more used to using a round brush attachment to blow out all my hair. But you can also use this on wet hair if you prefer that. And using this straight from wet hair is going to give you an even more pin straight look So yeah, it's pretty cool that you can use this on wet and dry hair. The FlexStyle side is still looking pretty nice, but honestly I'll probably end up using a straightener on this side just because my hair gets so frizzy, and sometimes a blowout is just not enough for me. So most of the time I have to use a straightener, at least at the roots, just to really prevent my hair from getting super frizzy. But so far it looks fine. It definitely looks very voluminous and it looks pretty smooth for the most part as well on the FlexStyle side. So let's move on to the curls. For both of these I'm going to be using the same size barrel, so 1.25. With the Shark FlexStyle you are able to get a thinner barrel, so if you're into thinner curls you can get this one. As you can see, it's a little bit thinner than this one. It's right under an inch I believe, so it's very thin. It's going to give you a tighter curl. And with the FlexFusion you only have this 1.25 inch, so that's what we're going to use today. Let's start with the Shark FlexStyle. I'm going to put this in the highest heat setting, highest speed. This step is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, this literally curls your hair for you, and I don't notice a huge difference on this attachment for both of the hair tools. I feel like they're both giving me pretty tight curls and the curls look pretty much the same. So if you just want this hair tool for the curls, then you might as well just get the old one, the Shark FlexStyle, and save some money. But if you do want the new hair tool for the other attachments that you cannot get with the Shark FlexStyle, then you probably are better off getting the new one and just spending the extra money, because it will be worth it in my opinion. I feel like it does give you better results, like a more smooth blowout, especially if you have like very curly hair like me. If you have more wavy hair, you might be fine with the Shark FlexStyle, and if that works for you, no need to upgrade. But if you do like the newer attachments and if you want to use this hair tool in a hotter heat setting, then you might like the new one a lot more. I like a little bit of extra heat, so I know that I'm going to end up using the new one a lot more than the old one, but both of them give me very nice results. The curls are the same, but you can see that on the FlexStyle side, because the blowout isn't as smooth, the curls look a little bit bigger, more voluminous, a little bit frizzier than on the FlexFusion side. I think having a nice base before you curl your hair is also super important. So I always try to smooth out my roots and smooth out my hair the most I can before adding curls to my hair. Okay, I am done curling all my hair. I touched up my lips because, I don't know, I tried this lip stain thing and I just did like the liner and then it kind of looked funny. And now that I did all my lips, I feel like it's too bright. But anyways, that is it for this video. This is the old Shark, the Shark FlexStyle. It actually looks very nice and the curls look very bouncy. I actually really like this side. And then this is what the other side looks like, the Shark FlexFusion side. It also looks super nice and I feel like the roots look a little bit more flat, and I feel like this side looks just a little tiny bit more shiny and a little bit more straight. I noticed that after I straightened my hair, it was a little tiny bit harder to get a tighter curl with the curling attachment, so keep that in mind. If you're looking for something that's going to be a lot more tight like this, then maybe skip straightening the roots. I tried to just focus on the roots, which is why I was able to curl some of it, but I still feel like I did kind of bring the straightener down a little bit to the ends in some sections. Like for example, this part in the front, I'm pretty sure I probably straightened most of it, so that's why it didn't curl that much. But I still really like how this side looks. Like it's like a looser wave. If you want to upgrade to the new Shark, only do it because you want these two new attachments. If the attachments of the FlexStyle give you a nice smooth blowout, just stick to this one. But if you do need a little bit of extra heat, especially at the roots, and if you need a little bit of help smoothing that out, then I would definitely recommend upgrading, because these two attachments did really make a huge difference. It is a little bit more complicated for me to blow out this side of my hair, so these attachments did a really good job at smoothing out my hair. I know that I'm gonna reach for the FlexFusion more because it makes a huge difference at like smoothing out my roots. But if the FlexStyle works for you, then no need to upgrade. I know that for my thick curly hair, the FlexFusion definitely works better. That is it for this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know in the comments down below which side you liked better. Did you like the FlexStyle or did you like the new Shark FlexFusion side better? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you guys so much.